Hello, everyone. We are the Group D of April 103 class. The Group D students of Operations Auditing were tasked to look for internal auditors in any company for interview and answering of surveys. We have found our internal auditors and successfully consolidated the return surveys. Today, we are excited to show you the results and interpretations of the data. But before anything else, let's get to know our auditors first.
Good day. I am Hardy Marie G. Pelpinases, a former internal auditor in Do Exam Incorporated for almost 1 year and 8 months. Starting from February in the current year, I am into accounting clerk until now. So, before the pandemic, I've been traveling to desk branches to conduct audit with my team. So each member of the team has a designated procedure to be done in a target period of time.
Hello, I'm Elona Jane Sumagaysay, 23 years old, and I'm currently working as an internal auditor in the Do Examine Corporation. So I've been in the company for 1 year and 6 months now.
Hello, good day. I am Regine Sapanta, currently working at Toexam Incorporated as an internal auditor for almost 4 years. As an internal auditor, I have to examine the efficacy of operations, the reliability of financial reporting, investigate any kinds of fraud, and observe and examine whether the employees had complied with the laws and regulations set by the management.
A pleasant day to you. I am Marlene Manapsal, Internal Auditor of Buhay Kuan. My function as Internal Auditor mainly is to provide independent assurance that the cooperative's risk management, governance, and internal control processes are operating effectively. As internal auditor, I have to provide the management and a board of directors with a value-added service wherein flaws in the processes may be corrected. We provide recommendations in order to correct or to improve the system.
Data presentation. The data presentation will be divided into five parts according to the survey. After we have gathered the data from the survey, the data were tabulated and summarized. Statistical tools that were used include frequencies and percentages. For the general competencies, the respondents were instructed to rank the importance of the following knowledge competencies with 10 as the highest. The table presented shows the final ranks of the competencies based on the four surveys. As you can see, the most important general competency is the knowledge of accounting frameworks, tools, and techniques. This is followed by the problem identification and solution skills, knowledge in ICT or IT frameworks, tools, and techniques is also listed as one of the most important as it is ranked as number 3. On the other hand, knowledge about cultural fluency and foreign language skills were considered to be the least important. As I have understood it, internal auditors really need to know not just basic knowledge but comprehensive about accounting frameworks, tools, and techniques. One of internal auditors' function is to help maintain accurate and timely financial reporting and data collection. Hence, they should know the frameworks, tools, and techniques in accounting first and foremost. I have also noticed the inclusion of ICT frameworks, tools, and techniques as one of the most important knowledge that an auditor must obtain. As businesses embrace new and emerging technologies, the need to know about IT tools is becoming relevant for internal auditors. That is why the knowledge about ICT is ranked as number 3. Now, what makes me a competent internal auditor? Basing on the general competencies, I believe my knowledge in accounting frameworks would not suffice. I definitely need more practical knowledge about this competency, and the same goes with problem identification and solution skills. However, I believe that my capabilities in adapting to new technology would make me a competent internal auditor. But of course, applying the knowledge that I have in other competencies. I do still need to work on my communication skills, as I have noticed that I find it hard to converse with other people.
Knowledge. These are the results from the data that we have gathered during our interview. The knowledge has 20 statements given that will be ranked according to its preference. From the four surveys of the internal auditor of different companies that we have obtained, the result of the knowledge is as follows. Auditing ranked as top 1 and is considered as the most important, to be followed by the internal audit standards ranked as second, fraud awareness ranked as third, ethics ranked as fourth, and business law and government regulation ranked as fifth. The auditors also believe that marketing is the least important. Maybe the auditors is not yet engaged in the marketing field, or they already do but not really into that work, to be followed by economics, organization culture, finance, and organizational systems. I believe the good quality that makes an internal auditor competent in his job is having a good communication skills both in writing and speaking. Also, being knowledgeable in auditing will make an internal auditor efficient and effective in the workplace. He or she can focus in the job because enough knowledge can make an auditor being energetic.
Behavioral skills. Based on the survey being consolidated, we derive the result for behavioral skills as follows. Confidentiality is considered as the first rank among the 15 behavioral skills an auditor must have, followed by objectivity. Then the third rank is communication, judgment rank as fourth, and the fifth rank is governance and ethics sensitivity. The four auditors considered the change catalyst as the least important because I think it is not an important skills an auditor must possess since they are confidential in so many ways. Then followed by both facilitation and staff management as the second least important, both work independently and leadership as the third least important, both team building and influence rank as the fourth, and relationship building rank as the fifth least important behavioral skills on the four auditors being surveyed. Auditors must maintain their objectivity and integrity in conducting the audit. If I would rank myself in behavioral skills, I'm still in number 6 because I am still in the process of learning the qualities of becoming a competent auditor.
Technical skills. Based on the consolidated answers from the four surveys that each members conducted, the top 5 technical skills includes the following. First one in the ranking is the governance, risk, and control tools and techniques. The technical skill that rank as second is understanding business. Then the third one is risk analysis and control assessment techniques. Then identifying types of controls comes next, which is the fourth one. And lastly is the data collection analysis tools and techniques, which is ranked as a fifth important technical skills an auditor must possess. So among these 13 technical skills, the skills that rank as the top 5 least important in performing the work as an auditor includes the problem-solving tools and techniques with the same rank as the total quality management, then followed by financial analysis tools and techniques. Then the third in line is the forecasting. And the top two is the ISO or quality knowledge. And the least one or the top in the ranking among the 13 skills is the balance scorecard. So, based on my understanding, balance scorecard gained the first spot because the companies the auditors are working for are not applying this technique because they think that this technique might not be worth their investment due to the disadvantages it entails. Hence, When the companies does not apply this, the auditors are not anymore needed to possess this kind of skills for their line of work. So what makes you a competent internal auditor? To better facilitate and conduct the audit, a competent auditor should possess skills and knowledge relevant to their scope of work. And so, if I were to rank myself based on the technical skills I possessed, I would be on the fifth rank yet, because I believe that there are still more things about auditing that I need to learn and technical skills that are needed to acquire in order for me to become a competent one. And through this survey, I was able to have ideas what are the various technical skills and which are relevant in a company.
Audit tools and techniques. The last part of the questionnaire asks the auditors to indicate the extent of using auditing tools and techniques. They are to indicate if the audit tools are currently in use, used in the last 5 years, or not being used at all. The data in this following section are presented and summarized in graphs. The first four auditing tools, namely risk based audit planning, other electronic communication, analytical review, and statistical sampling, are all currently in use in the company of our interviewees. All of the four auditors have agreed that they are currently using these auditing tools.
All of these audit techniques, namely electronic work papers, data mining, computer assisted audit technique, and control self assessment, the electronic work papers, control self assessment, and computer assisted audit technique were currently used by the four internal auditors. On the other hand, data mining were used by one internal auditor only for the last 5 years.
The flowchart software are currently used by one out of four auditors. The remaining three auditors are not being used the flowchart software. Both benchmarking and continuous or real-time auditing are currently used by the four auditors. One out of four auditors are currently using the process mapping application. One auditor used it in the last 5 years, and the remaining two auditors are not being used the process mapping application.
The IIA's quality assessment review tools is currently used by 3 out of 4 auditors, while one auditor used this tool in the last 5 years. In the balanced scorecard or similar framework, one auditor is currently using this tool, while one auditor used it in the last 5 years, and 2 out of 4 auditors are not using these tools. In the total quality management techniques, 3 out of 4 auditors are currently using this and one auditor used it in the last 5 years. And lastly, the process modeling software is currently used by one auditor while the other 3 auditors did not use this tool.
To gain more information, aside from the survey, we have also added two open ended questions from our internal auditors. Question number one: based on your experience being an internal auditor, why are these competencies important?
So, in my own opinion, these competencies are really important in order to have a reliable and relevant information that are useful in management decision making as well as external users of that information, and also to call the attention of the management for improvements in their day-to-day operation. It also serves as a tool to work efficiently and effectively.
So, in audit, dili raman siya mag-focus on the financial aspect of the company or sa sales nila, but sa overall nga performance as well as the behavior of each employee. So, with these competences, I am able to perform my task properly and present or provide the report or judgment that is true and just to the management.
Based on experience, an auditor has to possess certain competencies, since these are crucial in determining if the audit evidence acquired was credible and relevant, as well as providing and producing high quality audit work.
These competencies are fundamental in performing my functions as internal auditor, to provide independent and objective assurance and consulting services to improve the operations of Buhay Kuwan.
Question number 2. How do these competencies benefit you and the management and the staff you are working with?
So, as a team, these competencies help our work done in a given period of time. It benefits the management and staff I am working with. In a way, it gives me more confidence, and also it impart or impart or share my knowledge and techniques to the management and staff in order to have a smooth, efficient, and effective operations, and most importantly, to achieve the best results.
Personally, upon applying these competencies during audit, so I've learned a lot of things nga nakatabang na ako para ma-improve ang akong skills and also to improve my confidence kay from time to time we have to interact with the customers man and most of all sa employees. So also we have to check man carefully every detail or every transaction of the branch. So dili pud malikayan nga na may lapses nga mga man-note. So we have to raise them to the concerned employees para ma-aware sila nga dili dito sakto para next time ma-correct na nila. And then we also have to raise it to the management para ma-aware sila nga mao ni situation sa branch, and it would serve as their guide in decision making or in improving their management. So para pod maka-provide pa sila og good services dili lang sa ilahang mga customers but also sa mga employees nga ilang nasakupan.
These competencies will enable us to effectively address the hazards that our company may face. We will be able to better serve our company if we strengthen our core competencies.
Acquiring these competencies help me provide value-added services to the organization. I can give proper mentoring to the staff I am working with. I can also provide the management recommendations for the improvement of the organization. And personally, these competencies help me advance my career in my field of work.
That's it. That concludes the presentation, interpretation, and reflection of Group D. Thank you for watching.